what's going on today. Um, okay. So hopefully you've seen, I don't know, I was down in Oklahoma getting my hair cut. We're getting ready to come up to Utah for this weekend because I was invited to something and it was something I couldn't say no to. So we're coming. And while we're there, we're going to go to a conference. And so we have all these things, just like Kirtland, all of a sudden we're scrambling to get ready to go to Utah, something that we weren't planning at all this year. And as we were leaving and coming back to Kansas, um, got a text from Joni with the Joyce Genealogist channel, and she's like, "Do you see what's going on in Israel?" And earlier I had seen that there was like some kind of like attack, like a terrorist attack, um, in Tel Aviv, but it was just kind of like, you know, it was like more small scale. But I decided to look just in case like she was talking about something else, and there are. Let me pull it up. Oh my gosh! Here, let me. Okay, where is it? Let me find it really quick. Let's see. What was the first one that I saw? Must have been this one. Let me put it on the screen. Or no, wait. Let me do. We'll do window capture. I think it's this one. Yeah, there we go. So this is what I saw. And typically, you guys, whenever we talk about certain prophecies or certain verses in the scriptures that have to do with the last days, like we play the guessing game where it's like, well, maybe it's actually this, maybe Isaiah or John was trying to describe something that he wasn't familiar with, and so when he says stars, it's like satellites that are falling out of the sky because of a EMP attack or something like that, and it could be. I typically don't go that route. For some reason, I don't tend to think that way. But when I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, those do look like angry stars, like casting themselves to the earth. Um, because in previous attacks, like I've seen plenty of like videos of like rocket attacks in the past. I'm sure that you have too, but these ones look different, and I think it's because uh, this is like I'm going to start doing the research here in a minute, but I saw somewhere that this was Iran's most advanced ballistic missile. I don't think they had fired these before, but whatever the case, it looks like really dramatic on the screen, and they're actually going like all the way to the ground. And whereas before in the attack in April, they were all virtually being intercepted in the air, so they weren't making it to the ground. So you did have like stars in the sky kind of like falling in April, but these ones are like actually going all the way to the ground. And so, is this what prophets from that dispensation saw when they saw the last days and they saw the winding up scenes and they saw the final war? I don't know. But yeah, if I was a prophet back then and I didn't have the concept of what a ballistic missile is, I might say, oh my gosh, those stars are angry and they are casting themselves to the ground. Like, look at that. So, I don't know. And there's like there's a bunch of other similar, I'll put this one up. There's a bunch of other similar videos. Like, I can't verify these videos, but because I feel like you can kind of get a feel when you have certain accounts that are like reposting these videos or posting them, and they're like reputable accounts, then you feel more confident that they are legitimate. Um, so I think these are actual videos of what just happened. And I just want to point out, like, I'm not seeing any interceptions from the Iron Dome system with these. I don't know what's going on. There's this one right here. I'm gonna have to research this. I don't know how long I'm gonna be live. I wasn't planning on doing this today, but I feel like I'm gonna be on here for a while. This one is supposedly from an Israeli gas, like an oil rig off the coast. I don't know if that's true or not. Sometimes people post things like videos that are um, old or from some completely other part of the world, some other conflicts. So I don't know. Oh my gosh. If you didn't catch my last live stream, I was just pointing out that this is happening uh, not only the month, because now it's October 1st, but also the week of General Conference. I wish I could share everything that happened yesterday. It was personal, but like this week started off in a very interesting way for me. Um, in fact, I'll tell you this here. Let me pull up this graphic. I haven't put this up yet since I started the live stream. So just so you don't get confused, if you don't know. Oh, by the way, Caitlin's here. Caitlin from Anticipating Christ's Return. Hi, Caitlin. Me and her are going to be hanging out in Utah the second to last week of October. So me and her are going to try and schedule like a little meetup somewhere. We don't know where yet, but we'd like to meet some of you. So, okay. So just in case you're not really familiar with so far, it's an alert website and app. And this doesn't mean, like, when you're looking at this doesn't mean that every single one of these red markers is a place that was hit by a missile. It's just where the alert system went off. And so as you have these missiles coming in from the east, I'm assuming that they came in from the east, as it enters into that airspace, then I think it just triggers an alert, because they can't be super sure where those things are going to land. But with that being said, since the start of the war, October 7th, 2023, I have not seen this large of an alert area as I have with this. It like covers virtually the entire country. Nobody lives down here. Like, there's a couple like small towns, but most of the population is up here. Especially, in this area, Jerusalem, and then over here, Tel Aviv. This is like where most of the population is, right here. And then you have more up north. But oh my gosh, look at that. I'm actually surprised that there weren't any alerts in Haifa, but I guess Hezbollah has been attacking Haifa as of late. So maybe Iran's like, don't worry about you got Haifa. We'll take care of the rest of the country. I don't know. But I've not seen this since I've been like watching it pretty closely. But the way that I typically kind of gauge it is I go to this screen over here, and then over here to the left. Let me see if I can zoom in. Usually the attacks, like the different alerts that go off, they'll be like grouped together like this, and I'll try and count the number of lines. And I'll just tell you, this is a lot of lines. I'm not even going to try and count this right now. That's a lot of lines. Oh my gosh, we finally got to the end of it. Holy cow. Oh, you guys, like, I don't know. Like, right now, it's the fog of war. Who knows the significance of what just happened? But it is significant. It's significant because this is now the second time that Iran has directly attacked Israel. So, I don't know how much was coming through in the live stream that I was doing as I was driving back to Kansas, but you had that first attack in April, which is already interesting because that was the month of General Conference. Most of those, I think it was cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, and drones that were fired from Iran. Virtually all of them were intercepted in that first attack. So that was a big escalation, and it was unprecedented. This, I believe, you could also call unprecedented. Not that it's the first time that Iran has attacked Israel directly, but this time they're having this much success. So this amount of success, I believe, is unprecedented. This is a new escalation. Hey, honey, oh, here it is. Never mind. You guys, sorry, I have an energy drink. I'm trying to like taper it off, but it's been stressful lately, and just leave me alone. Okay, so let me take a look at what's going on here. I'm going to go on X. I'm not going to put it up on the screen because I don't know what's going to pull up, and I just want to see what people are saying. I saw earlier that that this was just the first wave, but then I saw another post that said that if Israel responds to this, then there's going to be, of course, another wave, and there's going to be a response, and of course Israel's going to respond to this. So it's the ladder of escalation. Where are the chutes? You know, chutes and ladders. I don't see a lot of chutes. I have not seen a lot of chutes during this entire thing. It's just ladders. On the Sprinter account, they're showing like a building that was hit in Shalhav Gadara, supposedly. And, you know, it's pretty battered. It's not like demolished or anything, but like windows, and it got hit. It's like the building is essentially destroyed or you know, gutted. Iran, I don't think I said this yet. They're saying that this was in response to, like, this was like the response that we were waiting for ever since July 31st, when Ismail Haniyeh was killed in Tehran. So this would obviously, from what I saw, it's a response for that. We've been waiting for this forever. Well, here it is. I guess they were waiting for General Conference. And then it's also a response, obviously, for the killing of Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah. So within the last couple months, the leaders of Hamas and Hezbollah were both killed. And now this appears to be the response for both. And I don't know if it's over. There haven't been any more like alerts coming through. I've seen this video. I'll put this up. This is pretty stunning. This is supposed to be footage of like the launch. Here, let me zoom in a little bit. That looks apocalyptic right there. That is like that. There you go. If you're looking for cinematic, that to me, that looks cinematic. Gosh, there's just like, there's so much coming in right now. I'm seeing like different numbers of how many missiles were launched. I recently saw like 400, but Sprinter is saying 300. At some point, I need to start checking some of the news outlets and not just X. I'll do that in a little bit. Omar Abu Laila says it seems that IRGC are preparing to release a second statement. And then other people are saying that same thing. I think it was yesterday. It's all like blurring together. There's so much going on in the world and in my personal life. I can't keep track of anything ever since like Saturday. I think it was yesterday that Benjamin Netanyahu, he issued like a statement to the Iranian people. And in that statement, as like a warning to the leadership, he said that there wasn't anywhere that Israel can't reach. So that was like a stern warning. So he said that, I believe it was either this morning or yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And now Iran did this. And so I guess we're going to see, or I guess we're going to see if Israel's going to make good on that threat. Visegrad 24 says IDF announces this will have consequences. We have plans. We will act, deciding where and when. A senior Iranian official quoted by Reuters stated that the U.S. was alerted through diplomatic channels shortly before the attacks. Oh my gosh, this is just insane. Look at this. Let me well, it's gonna start over. Watch again. Look at those just coming down like that. Looks like stars that are angry, that are casting themselves like figs to the ground. Isn't that how it's worded in the scriptures? I'm not going to look it up right now, but that's pretty close. Mario Nafal says Iran launches cyber attack alongside missile strikes against Israel. Fake text messages were sent to Israeli phones, falsely informing citizens that airstrikes had ended and advising them to leave shelters. Oh my gosh. I wonder if that worked, because you have to like perfectly mimic the way that those would come through. And I'm sure that the Israelis have plenty of experience what those alerts actually look like. So New York Times, this is from PM Breaking News. The New York Times reports, citing U.S. officials, that Israel may target Iranian nuclear sites in response to a ballistic missile attack against the country. That was, I think, what people were guessing was going to happen the first time that Iran struck Israel back in April, that in response that Israel would hit their nuclear sites. I think there was like a minimal response. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't big. And I think there was some doubt if Israel had actually struck back. I can't remember. I'd have to look it up again. Okay, well, before I continue digging into this, let me just see what people are saying in the chat. I'll start with Caitlin, anticipating Christ's return. Make sure to subscribe to her. I was woken up early this morning by train horns, and I thought there were trumpets, and I was convinced they were trumpets and that Christ was returning. Okay, I'm not copying you, but Jenica can vouch for me, like when I tell you this. Yeah, part of what was interesting yesterday for me, I'm a deep sleeper, you know. I get all my sleep as long as there's no alarm or anything like that. I can sleep through the kids getting ready for school and whatever. Yesterday, for some reason, and it doesn't have to do with the energy drinks. Yesterday, for some reason, I woke up like at 7:30, which that never happens. And because I got up at 7:30, we started our day early. We were running errands and getting ready for the trip. And I think things had to play out that way so that I was like prepared for like some other things that happened yesterday. And then today, the same thing happened 2 days in a row. I woke up at like about 7:30, and I was like, okay, is this going to be another day like yesterday? And the answer was yes. Not exactly the same, but stuff that's happening out of the ordinary. So I'm just glad that today I was able to get my hair cut before doing the live stream. Okay. Borky baby, good thing I bought my peanut butter Captain Crunch and Pepsi and popcorn today. Haha. Well, I hope you have like you have more of that in case there's like food shortages, so that you can enjoy future live streams when the whole world is falling apart. Okay, Kathy Davies, I like the last name. So sad and scary. I pray for the victims daily. Yeah. Just remember, you guys, it may not feel like the last days to you because you don't have missiles coming to your area, but this is the reality for people that live over there. And for people in Ukraine and Russia, it's a reality for them too. They're experiencing this war. Other places are being affected by natural disasters. I just talked a couple days ago with one of my subscribers. Her name is Shayla, and she lives in Tennessee, and she's been affected by this like big the hurricane that came through that ended up going inland, and there's like flooding and stuff in her area. So if it's not happening in Utah, or if it's not happening in Idaho, there are other parts of the world, believe it or not, that are experiencing things. So it doesn't all have to happen directly to us in order for it to be prophecy being fulfilled. The haystack, they're going to hammer this week with Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur next week. Yeah. That's a good point. Let me pull up hebcal.com so we can look at the Hebrew calendar. Let me just remind myself. So today is October 1st, and it's the second to the last, or it's the second to last day of the Hebrew month of Elul. Tomorrow at sundown, that's when Rosh Hashanah is going to start. And it's tomorrow that we have that total solar eclipse. Total solar eclipse, time and date. I want to pull that up really quick. I've done some videos about it. What's going on here? Let's do, it is a total solar eclipse, right? Or is it an annular? Let me just do solar eclipse. Look, solar eclipse, October 2nd, 2024. Okay, that's more like it. What? No. 503. Refresh. There we go. So this is what we're looking at tomorrow. If the path of totality could load in 503, please go away. Whatever. You can kind of see it right here. This is what's happening tomorrow. And we read an article on Israel 365 that noted that this is happening at about the same time as sundown in Israel as Rosh Hashanah begins. So we've talked about the fact that Tishri is the month that the Jews associate with Ephraim. And then Nisan, which is usually in April, that's the month that they associate with the tribe of Judah. In this year, on the day before these 2 months, the month of Judah and the month of Ephraim, you have these solar eclipses the day before these months. And around the time of General Conference. Something is going on this year, I feel. I think. So the day before Rosh Hashanah starts tomorrow, you also have this attack from Iran. And then the war that started on October 7th, 2023, 7 days before that was General Conference, and 7 days after that was the annular solar eclipse that passed through Utah. Call it coincidence if you want. So this year, conference is going to be during the 10 days of Awe, which go from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur. So that's interesting. And then it's also going to be during Shabbat Shuvah, which is the Sabbath that falls during the 10 days of Awe. It's the Sabbath of return. And I did a video about that. So there's interesting things going on right now. I'm going to catch up with the chat. Ronald Dunlap, I am in the tabernacle on. Okay, I'm in the tabernacle on Temple Square right now, listening to Jared in the tabernacle organ recital. I highly recommend the daily recital. That's cool. I can't wait to be there. I'm going to be there this weekend. I'm going to 3 of the sessions. So this was not originally the plan. Again, I was invited to something that I couldn't turn down. I can't reveal it right now. They want to kind of keep it like a secret. It's nothing like with the church. It's with something else. So we're going to be going to General Conference. So if you guys go to General Conference, maybe look around for me, and you may see me there. But I can't like set up any like meetups this time because it's not going to work out. Janet Manning, what are we talking about today, Jared? Possibly Armageddon. I don't know. Iran is attacking Israel. You might have to just like rewind and watch from the beginning. Eve A. Dame, Asheville, North Carolina, extremely flooded. Word out, government ran out of money to help people. Katie Gray, sorry, my voice. Sorry, Katie Gray. It happened here in the upstate of South Carolina. We lost power Friday and just got it back yesterday. My aunt that only lives a quarter of a mile is still without power. Thankfully it's only for a few days, or hopefully that's the case. It seems like mostly everyone is just for a few days, but and that's not pleasant. That would throw a wrench in some of my plans with YouTube, and also I have sleep apnea, so I have to sleep with a CPAP machine. So that's potentially deadly for me if I like die in my sleep, because I don't have my CPAP. That's how Princess Leia died. Carrie Fisher, sleep apnea. I guess, I don't know if she didn't have her CPAP, but that's what she died of. Let me see something right now. Let's go to poweroutage.us. Yeah, there's still a lot of people without power, especially North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. Georgia, 440,000. South Carolina, even worse, 588,000, so over 500,000. And North Carolina, 386,000. And then Virginia, Florida would come next, and then West Virginia. Joseph Ford, leaving on my mission next month. Oh my gosh, there's a young person that's watching my channel. I thought it was all old people. Leaving on my mission next month. I am so very excited to be serving as a missionary while the signs of his coming continue to show themselves. I'm not going to lie, Joseph. I wouldn't be surprised if the second coming happens while you're on your mission. Maybe you'll be one of the first missionaries of the millennium, because you're not going to get released. You're going to continue serving. Just kidding. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I'm being serious. So we'll pray for you on your mission, and I'm excited for you. Congratulations. Where are you going? Did I read it? No, you didn't say where you're going. If you feel comfortable, you can put where you're going in the chat. Pat R. Hesia, or Patricia, It's Patricia, isn't it? I haven't really paid attention to the news other than occasional headlines that pop up on my phone in like over a year now. Thanks for the heads up. No problem. I wish I could have started this stream sooner. I was just out getting a haircut, just minding my own business, and then Armageddon had to kick off. Keegan Montero, I hope and pray for Jesus to come. We all do. Caitlin with anticipating Christ's return. I also think it's super interesting that General Conference is always very close to Jewish feast days. Yeah. I recently did a video about that. I think it was the one where I was talking about these 2 eclipses, but I don't think that there's any. That's not an accident. For one thing, General Conference used to be It always used to fall on April 6th. And April 6th, of course, it's Christ's birthday. Um, and that it probably isn't an accident that his birthday falls during this time of the year in spring, when you have the spring feasts. Um, and So anyway, it's probably just, oh yeah, it's probably all meant to be. I think there's supposed to be like this parallel between us and the Jews. We're this part of Israel, basically the 10 tribes, and then they are primarily the tribe of Judah and Benjamin, but you have like this parallel gathering in the last days, parallel events, and it seems like this matches up really well. But I don't think it's any accident that you have this parallel between General Conference in April and October, and their main feast days typically happen around April and September, October. It's like March, April, September, October. That's usually when those holidays happen. I'm very articulate today. David Swenson, Zechariah 12. I hope so. Bruce K says astronomy, astrology, and Jewish celebration dates are not associated with this war and has nothing to do with LDS conference. All right, you are gone. Mindy from Temples of Jesus, make sure to subscribe to her. Hi, what's going on? Just got out of temple. Our 3+ week fire has flared up again, heading toward Big Bear with a bear emoji. Temps in hundreds all week. Well, Mindy, this is going on today. Israel just got hit by a huge attack from Iran. They fired ballistic missiles at Israel, set off all these alerts in all these different sectors of Israel. Yeah, let me start doing some, and then let me show you this. Hold on. Let me find the video really quick. There's just like really insane videos of the, I gotta go to my profile. There's really insane videos of these missiles hitting Israel. I was talking about the fact that, these do look like angry stars that are casting themselves to the ground, like figs or fig leaves. I can't remember. I'm not going to look up that scripture right now, but you know what I'm talking about. I pointed out the fact that this looks different from the attack in April because virtually all those drones and missiles were intercepted, but this time it does not look like that's the case. I read that these are like the more advanced ballistic missiles that Iran sent over this time. I'm actually going to try and look that up, but basically there's a massive attack. So let's look up Times of Israel. Look at those headlines. Israelis told they can leave shelters after Iranian attack of 180 ballistic missiles. So there were different people on X that were saying like, oh, it was 300, oh, it was 400. But according to Times of Israel, it was 180. Jerusalem Post. Let's see what they're saying. Iran launches hundreds of rockets into Israel. Oh, okay, so maybe this is it. So Jerusalem Post says 180 ballistic missiles, but then I guess maybe on top of the ballistic missiles there were hundreds of rockets. So 180 ballistic missiles. Which led to 1,800 rocket sirens sounding. So that's why, again, I think it's like what it is. You have a missile coming through. It's crossing this airspace, and so it triggers the alert for that area. So it's not like these are all individual ballistic missiles. But even so, I have not seen these many areas being alerted. I've never seen this many alerts. since the start of this war. Right here, sorry. So there were like structures that were hit. It doesn't seem like anything like catastrophic happened, at least not from what I can tell so far. Israeli air defenses shot down dozens of missiles, so they did take down some. According to this, this was the Iran's Revolutionary Guards announced that the attack was in response to the assassination of Nasrallah. And if Israel responded, it would experience a strong blow. So that was another thing earlier. Somebody was saying that this was a response for the killing of Nasrallah and Hania. So I guess it's unclear if this is the case, if it's just Nasrallah, are they still going to retaliate for the killing of Hania? An official says, quote, a direct military attack from Iran against Israel will carry severe consequences for Iran. So again, just more escalations. If this was shoots and ladders, like it's basically just ladders and no shoots. They're taking note of the fact that back in April, there was a unified force that comprised Israel, the US, France, Jordan, and the United Kingdom that shot down those missiles back then. So I think that's pretty much it. Like, I'm not seeing anything else that's like too new. So 180 ballistic missiles. It seems like a lot of them hit, but it doesn't seem like there was like widespread damage or anything like that. Flights are being suspended. Iran suspends flights at Tehran International Airport after missile attack. That was 12 minutes ago. Let me go back to X. Sprinter is saying Israeli military airport destroyed, but this is like a pro. This is like an anti-Israel account. So, dang, that looks pretty crazy though. Hold on, let me show you this. Zoom in. Gosh, look at that! It looks like meteors are hitting the earth. Gosh, there's so many of them. That looks like a movie. It looks like a movie about Armageddon. I would not ignore these things and be like, oh, they're always fighting over there. There's always this kind of thing going on. No, there's not. Not like this. This is only the second time that Iran has attacked Israel. That's very significant. If you don't take the time to understand the conflict, um, then yeah, it must all just seem the same to you. But no, this is a really key moment right now. There are a lot of very serious people, a lot of experts that are really concerned about World War III happening, not just because of what's going on in Israel, but the Ukraine war, and also with China and its aspirations to take Taiwan. Here's like another one. I don't necessarily trust this account, Iran Spectator, but it says Iran uses hypersonic missiles for the first time, which, that could explain why they weren't intercepted. Let me see if like any reputable source has said that. Hypersonic missiles. Let's see. No. So I don't know where they're getting that information from. Could be, but I just haven't seen it from a credible source. IDF says no Israelis wounded from Iranian attack. There will be consequences. This new update says, sorry. Uh, this new update says 181. So I don't know if like the previous reports that we were reading was just like rounding it to 180. But this from Jerusalem Post says 181. Another crazy picture of like there was one last time from April where you saw these Iranian missiles above in the skies above the Dome of the Rock on the Temple Mount, and here's like another crazy picture with the Dome of the Rock, but this time it's October. "26 minutes ago, IDF closes military areas in northern Israel." Uh, the IDF ordered the closure of the military area in the region of Dovev, Sion, and Malkia. I don't know if that's like what Sprinter was referring to, if there was like a base that was hit there, if that's why they're closing it, but there isn't any like reputable source that's saying that. Okay, well, it seems like that's pretty much it. From everything that I've read, it seems like Hezbollah is trying to regroup and, replace the leaders that have been killed, and that Iran has been helping with that, but it's unclear how cohesive their force still is and if they can recover from these recent attacks from Israel. They've really been weakened in a number of ways, both like when it comes to their leadership and also communications. And then, there's also all these like different sites that have been taken out by Israel, like these like uh, sites where they launch their rockets from. Let's see. Now this is from Steve Lookner. That's one of my favorite YouTube channels. His channel is Agenda Free TV. He is like a solid person. He does good research. He says on X, Israel's N12 News reports that the IDF says, quote, "We will attack strongly tonight throughout the Middle East." Oh yeah, and then he reposted it here. Like in 12's thing. I should check Ynet. That's a good website. It's an Israeli news website. Yeah, here we go. This is their top headline right now. Response will be severe. What Iran faced so far is just a fraction, Israeli official says. They're saying Israeli officials vow Jerusalem will not stand idle following a barrage of over 200 missiles. So again, like there's like some variation in like the reporting of the number of missiles. They're saying over 200. Other reports have said 180. Another one said specifically 181. Tehran says fully prepared for any retaliation. Okay, I guess we'll see. That's kind of a bold thing to say. I'm not sure that you are. Israel's kind of been like on fire recently, and I mean like in a good way, and like in their favor. They've been doing really good. A high-ranking government official added, quote, Israel has full legitimacy for an unprecedented strike on Iranian soil. This is the time to strike at the head of the Iranian snake. I mean, if you're on a roll, maybe just are you going to go for their leadership, the Ayatollah? That would be, oh my gosh, that would be crazy. Well, okay, let me come back to this. So Mormon girl says, weird, it didn't notify me that it was streaming. I don't know. All I can say is make sure that you click on the notification bell. I know you've heard it probably a million times from other channels, but that's all I can say. I have no idea. I did like an initial live stream as we were driving back from Oklahoma, just to kind of try and give everybody the heads up. And then once I got here, I started this live stream, which I'm going to end in just a minute because I got to go take a shower and get all these like hair clippings off my head. I just got a haircut. I'm happy with the haircut, but it's not exactly what I asked for. The girl was kind of, she did a good job. She was a little bit rough. One of these things is not like the others out of all the times that I've been going to this place. That's okay. Forgiveness. She's a child of God. Borky baby, all this talk of fries and sauce got me mistyping everything. Laughing face, laughing face. Thanks, Northern Utah people. Dang, that sounds good. It does sound good. I could go for that right now. I'm trying to lose weight. On Saturday, you know, I received a couple of attacks from people. It ruined my whole day. Had to go out and get some donuts. Some donuts to try and feel better. Janet Carlson, I keep getting kicked out. Other Other semis are having trouble getting in, so the people can't get aid. We really need to pray for both the people in the South and the Holy Land. Yes, everybody say a prayer for everybody that's suffering in the world, but especially right now in the Southeast and in Israel, Ukraine, and Russia. Those are kind of the big ones right now. Samus Scrap says, Jared, you need a generator. I know. There's a lot of things I need. If it comes down to it, we have a nice property. Like, you know, we have plenty of wood here. I have like a ton of trees that are constantly dropping branches. I have a big pile of firewood, so we're good with that. We have a stream that goes across the property, so we could use that water. We'd have to boil it, obviously. Borky Baby says, must nice to have hair. I can barely see your profile picture, but yeah, you do look like you're bald. I'm sorry about that. Joe Harding, not sure if this was referenced earlier, but Israel has also sent rockets near Damascus in the past 24 hours. Not sure if it's standard ATM. Yeah, I think I saw something about that. Cindy Norgren says, mine notified me about the last stream, but not this one. Weird. I'm going to skip down past the comments about being notified. Byro Kinsman, get some clippers and have your wife cut your hair. Smiley face. You'll save like $1 million considering how much haircuts cost nowadays. Well, that's nice in theory, and she has done it in the past, but I'm sorry, I have to have like professional haircuts. I don't go to like anywhere expensive. I just go to Great Clips. But especially like doing YouTube, like before YouTube, I didn't have to care about how I looked. I still don't have to care that much, but I want to like look presentable. Borky Baby, sorry, Jerry. This Saturday, you being in Utah, if I was still there, I'd take you out to some food. My treat. Smiley face. Sorry, I can't be there. Sorry, you can't be there. I'm coming to Utah and you're not going to be there. How dare you? Come back from Georgia. Okay, you see what just happened with this storm? Go back to where it's safe and come hang out with me for General Conference. I'm just kidding. I wish I could meet with everybody, but it's just, I'll do the best that I can. You know, when I do these trips or go places, I'll try and meet with as many people as I can. Catch the Buzz. Make sure to subscribe to her. Check her out. In General Conference, October 1971, President Ezra Taft Benson recommended to us that we read None Dare Call It a Conspiracy. I'm reading that on my Love Notes from God Channel by chapter. Please join me. Keegan Montero with with 4 praying hands. Maybe that's like one for each family member in her household. Joseph Ford, been watching for a couple years. Your channel has helped me be excited for the Times Oklahoma City, Oklahoma mission. Oh, cool. Okay, so you can just be right over here. 23 years old. You're going to have a good mission. I'm excited for you. Last time I went to Oklahoma City was to get my most recent smartphone because the one that I wanted, I had to drive down there to go get it. They didn't have it anywhere near here. And I had to get it because like I needed a phone that, you know, shoots good video. Recently I've done some like my old style videos where I'll go out to like a dirt road and film a field. And I thought it was pretty fun. Those will come out over the next couple days. Cindy Nordgren, where in Utah? I'm in Ogden. Well, this first time I'm not really meeting up with very many people. I already kind of have that booked. But the second to last week of October, we're going to have a meetup in Saratoga Springs. So yeah, so if you're interested in that, on October 26th, which is a Saturday, me and Troy from Last Dispensation, Jen from Christian Fire Poppy, and Rachel from Women in Priesthood. We're gonna have we're all speaking at the Firm conference, so if you're going to Firm, then you should probably see us there. But we have a separate get together that's going to be free, but we're going to have time slots because we have to control the number of people that come. So email me if you're interested. I'll give you the address like once we get closer to that time. But it's going to be from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Uh, Saturday, October 26th. So if you think that you can go to Saratoga Springs at that time, then send me an email and I can get you a time slot. We're doing like half-hour time slots. So we want to meet with as many people, but we also have to keep it controlled. And it seems like that'll work. So, Schaefer Girl, a couple of YouTube tutorials and your wife will be a pro. Be sure and buy the peanut clippers too. They get in the small areas. I appreciate that. But the thing is, like, we've already tried it, and she has not become a pro. As much as I would want that to happen and for that to be true, it has not happened. So it's okay. I'll just pay for the haircuts. I'll give somebody. I'll help them with their living. Pay them for their services. It's okay. Let me just come back here to X really quick and see if there's anything new. This Sprinter account is the worst. He says, New Year in the Middle East is a little early. He's referring to Rosh Hashanah because that's the Jewish New Year. It starts tomorrow at sundown. I follow him because he posts like good information. That doesn't mean that like I agree with his stance or anything like that. It's good to see the way that, you know, the other side perceives things and not just like stay in your echo chamber. Oh, Rachel is texting me. Well, she's like texting the group. She's going to be there. If you guys like Rachel with Women in Priesthood, she's going to be there. And Jen and Troy and me. And me and Caitlin are going to try and set up our own separate get together earlier that week, but I don't have a day. We don't have like a day picked out yet or a location for that, but we'll keep you updated. Now Sprinter is saying, in contradiction to an earlier post, the Israel forces say that none of the air bases suffered critical damage, and tonight Israeli Air Force fighter jets will target targets in the Middle East region. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can verify something really quick. NBC News says Iran says it has concluded its attack. Which I already felt was the case. Okay. Let's get back to this. Um, Luis Rodriguez, sorry, I'm catching up with the chat. Always watching from Guatemala and Los Angeles. You think Israel invading Lebanon will reach Beirut? I tend to think no. Like my rational side, uh, I think no, but I thought no on a lot of things this year. This year has been full of surprises. I don't think I said it in this stream, but in the previous stream, I pointed out how there's just so many like unthinkable things that happened this year. The Kirtland Temple coming back into the church. I never thought that I would see that, unless it was going to be in the millennium. I never thought that I would see the aurora in Kansas. I never thought I would live in Kansas, but for this year, we saw the aurora. Like most of the United States and other places of the world that don't typically see the aurora saw the aurora in May. We've seen a couple assassination attempts on Trump. There hasn't been a time in my lifetime where there have been like these dramatic assassination attempts on a presidential candidate, especially not one that has already been president of the United States. Israel taking out the leader of Hamas, and then just like a month later, a little over a month later, the leader of Hezbollah. I mean, they've been around for, or like, well, the leadership of these two have never been taken out by Israel in my lifetime, not that I'm aware of. And especially with Nasrallah, the former leader at this point of Hezbollah, just like Queen Elizabeth dying, I could not picture her passing away, even though I knew that she was old. I never pictured Israel actually taking out Nasrallah, but they did. So I feel like anything is possible. Caitlin from Anticipating Christ's Return says, I cut all my kids' hair and my husband's before he decided to just shave it all off. Well, good for you, Caitlin. That's good. I used to shave my head because in the Army, back then, I wanted to look clean cut at all times. I wanted my hair short every single day. So when I put on my patrol cap, it would just I'd look squared away. So I just shaved my head. And then once I got out, I continued to shave my head. But then, and that's how I started out 3 years ago with my channel. But then I realized I should grow my hair out because that would be better. And I don't regret it. But if it wasn't for YouTube, I would probably still be shaving my head. Maybe. Nathan Campbell, here's some General Conference news. The closing number of General Conference on Sunday afternoon is "And the Glory of the Lord" from Messiah. Mac told us that President Nelson called him one night. And then he stopped himself and said, well, I don't know the exact details, but President Nelson said he was awakened in the middle of the night a month ago and knew this song needed to be sung at General Conference. That's interesting. Now we have to take that with a grain of salt because I don't know you, and I know that you don't take that offensively, but it also would not surprise me if that's true. It's been a while since I talked about it, but you know, I've been paying attention to these First Presidency Christmas devotionals, and it seems to me like there is something going on with the hymns and the songs that have been selected for the Christmas devotionals. Should I pull that up right now? No, I'll wait till. I'll just do it. Let me pull it up. I have a spreadsheet. For it. But the question is, what's it called? I think it's probably Timeline Christmas Devotionals. Yeah. I have that one guy's spreadsheet, but I have it saved somewhere else. I have to find it again. Okay, so Um, Let me zoom in. Okay. 2018. That's when President Nelson became president of the church. Before this point, you have Joy to the World, which is actually a second coming hymn. It's about Christ and his return and his millennial reign, but it's sung as a Christmas song or carol or whatever. So before President Nelson, it had been sung a couple times during the Christmas devotionals, like in 2011 and 2013. And then uh, the tradition was that the closing hymn for the first presidency Christmas devotional would be Silent Night. Now, I only have it going back to 2009, so that's as far back as I've been able to go. But then President Nelson becomes president of the church. The first, the opening hymn is Joy to the World, a second coming hymn, really. Silent Night was sung as the third hymn, but the closing hymn was the Hallelujah chorus from Handel's Messiah, which the entire thing is based on scriptures from the New Testament, and the Hallelujah chorus corresponds to Revelation chapter 9. I can't remember, but Hallelujah, that's actually the only place that you find it in the scriptures, is in the book of Revelation. Um, there is another place you find it in the Old Testament, but the way that it's translated in the King James version is not, they don't use the actual word hallelujah. They have what it actually means. But the word hallelujah only shows up in the book of Revelation, and it's in reference to Christ and the second coming. Okay. So it started out with the second coming hymn, and it ended with the second coming hymn, or part of a whatever song. Okay, so that was 2018. Okay, and then the next year goes back to the tradition of Silent Night as the closing hymn. And then in 2020, which was an important year, the April 2020 General Conference seemed to be particularly important. Here we have Joy to the World again as the opening hymn. And then here comes the Hallelujah chorus again, which we did not hear the Hallelujah chorus during President Monson's time, at least going back to 2009. Okay, and then 2021 and 2022 are like normal. And then 2023, again, Joy to the World is the first hymn, and then the Hallelujah chorus is the final hymn. And this is the year that this war that we're talking about right now started. It started just a couple months before, well, I don't know what, well, it must have been in December. So it happened just a couple months before the first presidency Christmas devotional. Another thing that people noticed was the color of the dresses. So I don't care if you think that this is silly. Just be nice. If you think it's silly, that's fine. Please don't be rude. It was really dramatic in this devotional because the tradition before that time is the tabernacle choir would wear like purple, magenta, violet, blue, dresses like the women. But for 2023, they were wearing white. And let me see if I can find that other spreadsheet that one of you guys put together. Like, there was one of you that like went even further. You were able to go back to the year 2000. Do I have that saved somewhere? Give me just a second. Dang it. It might be like in my inbox or something. Okay, fine. All right, I'll check my inbox. We've already gone this far. I'll check my inbox. Wait, VA appointment reminder? I might have to cancel that. No, I'll be here. Okay, that's fine. I'll be here. Nope. I have to cancel one of them. Okay, let's see. Oh, I think I may have found it. Yeah, here it is. So this is an email from Shane Driggs. Shane, are you here right now? I'll put it up on the screen. So he actually took screenshots. He went through. He was able to find more of the Christmas devotionals. They're not as easy to find as you'd think. Like when you go back in time. So here's 2023. They're all wearing white. They look like angels. Like that's the obvious thing. It's like, oh, they look like angels. That's as simple as a sign has to be. Whether President Nelson or anybody else planned it that way, it doesn't matter. The Lord can speak in lots of different ways and he can plan things. Believe it or not, the Lord can actually plan things. And so you had these white dresses, and there were a lot of people in my audience that were saying they looked like angels. It was incredible. And then here's the years before. And then you go all the way back. And then you have white in 2002, 2001, and the year 2000. I'm actually preparing a video, which probably won't come out until next week, about the year 2000. Me and Caitlin have actually been talking about this. I think that she's already done a video about the year 2000. But those first 3 years, they wore white, and then it was just like purple, red, blue, magenta, purple. I already said purple. And then in 2023, white, joy to the world, and then the hallelujah chorus at the end. I think 2023 was a special year. We'll see what happens this year. So, Nathan, it wouldn't surprise me if President Nelson, if he wanted in the glory of the Lord for Messiah to be in this general conference, it would not surprise me. And Caitlin confirms, Nathan, that is really, really cool, with 3 exclamation points. Okay, I'm going to catch up with the chat. Willu Penton, Jared, are you going to add Hurricane Helen? Is it Helen? To your spreadsheet? I think I will. This one just kind of escaped me. And I think it's because like the way I'm doing my videos, I'm trying to schedule them out for my trip. I'm going to do live streams while I'm in Utah, but I have a couple days I need to have covered. And it's been like hard to like keep on top of like current things unless I do a live stream like this. I can explain it further, but just trust me. Matthew Wilkinson just tuned in. What is happening with Iran? You'll have to rewind because I'm getting ready to wrap up. Byro Kinsman says Helene. Okay. That's why there's the E at the end. Helene. That's how poorly I've been keeping on top of it. I don't even know how it's pronounced. Ben Nichols, or is it Nicholas? Thank you for your gathering this information for us. I appreciate that I can trust your sincere approach to your channel. Praying hands. Thank you, Ben. Ryan Nilsson says, don't ever let thoughtless people tell you that your analysis is silly. How are we supposed to recognize patterns unless we analyze as you do? Yeah, and I'm not saying necessarily that they are patterns, but like, are you just supposed to like ignore things? Are you just supposed to be like, it's a coincidence. Oh, that's a coincidence. That has nothing to do with anything. Is it a crime to notice things that coincide or things that seem out of the ordinary, things that wow, things that do affect people on a spiritual level? Are we just supposed to ignore everything? Thank you, Ryan. I know. I just some people it may just be that they haven't like progressed spiritually and they don't see these type of things in their lives, and that's fine. It seems silly to them. I just wish that, people could be nice about it. Just because other people are experiencing something that you're not, you don't have to be mean. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to um, discredit what they're experiencing, even if you don't understand it. Joni is here from Joyous Genealogist. Everybody make sure to subscribe to her. She says, hey friends, I'm late to the show. Did I miss anything big? The entire thing, Joni, because I'm about ready to be done. I just covered the attack, went over some of the details. We took a tangent and talked about the First Presidency Christmas devotionals. So I'm just going to check X again. I need to go take a shower. I need to get these hair clippings out of my hair and off my head. Nothing drives me more crazy than after a haircut. Until I have that shower, I'm usually a little bit perturbed. So right now, like the main part of it seems to be over. So now, again, it's like now the ball is in Israel's court, and now it's Israel's turn to respond. And then after that happens, Iran says that they will respond, and I think that we can believe them on that. Everything seems very, very predictable with this war because it has a pretty solid track record of just escalating. Your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. Oh, we're going to do more. Oh, you're going to do more. Oh, we're going to do more. Oh, that's been the track record of this conflict so far. So yeah, I think that's what we have coming up. So probably over the next few days. Well, no, we just read, I think on Ynet, that an official said that they're gonna strike, and that Israel's gonna strike tonight. I don't know if that means like right now, because over in Israel, it's nighttime. I'm trying to like work out how this all played out. Okay, so over there right now, they're 8 hours ahead of where I'm at. So it's 10:18 p.m. But all these videos are during the night. So was that from like last night? So I gotta figure this out. Tuesday night. Today's Tuesday. Was just like what? Okay, whatever. I don't care. They said that they were gonna attack. Israel said that they were gonna attack tonight. So I think they mean within the next like 12 hours, approximately. Caitlin says the fact that President Nelson called Mac and told him which song to sing means that God really is directing things, and even maybe even speaking in code. Caitlin, the question is, are we watching or not? ... Yeah. President Nelson himself says that he has received very specific revelation in the past having to do with numbers. He said it himself. And then Sherry Dew gave us more details, like how much specific instructions he received. I'm talking about the hashtag give thanks thing. At nighttime, he received very specific instructions, how long the video was supposed to be, what time to post it, what day to post it. So if you think it's crazy, that it's like crazy that President Nelson would receive very specific instructions, it's not. He's told us it's not. Um, that's fine. Some people just they don't understand that. That's fine. I had something else I was going to say. Well, we've had stories from Sister Nelson saying that, like at nighttime, President Nelson will receive very detailed instructions and processes that he's supposed to follow. He'll write it down, and then he'll like kind of like show it to her, like, you will not believe the instructions I've been receiving for the last 2 hours, and he'll show her the notes that he's been taking. It's really not. He, he's a prophet, and the Lord really does speak to him, and he gets specific instructions. Lydia Taggart says, no, it was today. I have a friend there that said she was under attack this afternoon. I have a friend there that said she was under attack this afternoon. Okay. So, all right. I'm okay. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. Thank you, Caitlin, anticipating Christ's return. Subscribe to her. Joni, Joyce Genealogy. Subscribe to her. And then Catch the Buzz. Melissa, right? I think it's Melissa. Catch the Buzz. Or Love Notes from God. And then Haystack, Jonathan. Subscribe to all of them, you guys. Go to my featured channels and subscribe. They have good content too. All right, well, I'm going to go. Oh, Troy's texting me. Is that you? Yeah, Troy, if you click on the notification, you'll see that it's me. I'm going to go though. So my video output might be a little bit lower for the next few days because I have all this stuff going on. Hopefully I get to meet some of you. If you're at conference, keep an eye out for me. I'll be there both days. So hopefully I'll get to run into you. And stay safe. Choose the right. And follow the prophet.